Hey guys, if you just clicked on this video, you must be eclectic because we are a little bit of everything. And right now, I just wanted to welcome everyone into our kitchen. Today we wanted to do a little cooking channel. We wanted you to take a view of what it's like from a perspective in doing cooking. Right here is what I have set up for my pasta. You know, right now I just want to let you know I'm going to be cooking pasta. You know, as an Italian over here, we like to cook. Hey, forget about it. But you know, we do it a little bit differently over here because we do a little bit of everything. So set up over here is the plate that I wanted to cook with, or cook and make the plate with the pasta. Here's the knife and the fork and the bread from the Italian restaurant down the road. This is what we're going to be actually you know, basically putting the pasta in. And here's the sink. Now actually I'm going to pick this rag up because, you know, as you can see, oh sorry, I don't want to do that too much. I like to keep things the way my wife likes it. You know, there's a rule of thumb that says that the kitchen is the woman's place, and that's not like disrespectful. That's really how it used to be in olden days. In fact, a man was never actually let into the kitchen at all. In fact, some old style, here's the pot for the sauce, and that is the sauce we'll get to in a moment. I just wanted to finish saying this real quick. Excuse me, because they said that a man's place was not in the kitchen, and I learned this. My wife and her family taught me this. This is our pot. I think I gotta rinse that out real quick. No problem. I'm just gonna rinse it out. I like to rinse out all of the pots, you know, just in case. So as it was said in olden days, like a man wasn't allowed to go into the kitchen. I never knew this until, like, you know, I met my family, and my wife told me all about this. So this is her place, you know, as far as her space, I should say, not her place, because, you know. But so, like, I looked at this here, and this is how my wife likes it, a certain way, of course. And oh, sorry, that's 13 seconds. That's the last thing I heated up. That was lunch. And then of course, like, you know, we're gonna fill the pot. You know, the Italian way is to put actually salt in the water, but for me particularly, I don't like to cook with salt. And like, once again, my wife and her mother and family taught me this, because salt is, like, you know, and not just cooking with salt, but in general, just salt products. We stay away from salt and sugar in our family, because, you know, it's basically like, it's a lot more healthier, and it's just, believe me when I say this, it's a lot better tasting. In fact, all those products that you buy for, like, you know, cooking things that say, like, you know, gluten-free or sugar-free or salt-free, you know, it's nice to have, because this is something that I got, which was the Del Monte, no salt added. This is diced tomatoes, so it gets a little bit thicker. I usually add water sometimes at the end of the, you know, cooking to actually give it more of that flavorful, and also it gets the excess sauce in the, and that's my Jersey accent, sorry about that, but my sauce, and some, you know, actually Jersey and Brooklyn sound very similar, but my wife's from Brooklyn, and I'm from Jersey, but the sauce over here is in the pan right over here, and forget about it. Oh, bada bing, bada boom. So we almost ready over here, but right here is where we filled up to what I call the buttons. I don't know what people call it. It's like, to the buttons is where you fill the water. Most Italians put salt in it. Particularly, sometimes people like to put meat in their meal, and I used to do that, but nowadays I like to keep my meat separate, because basically I like to cook everything separate. That way, in case I want to add something, like here's where the Del Monte sauce comes in, and this is where, like, the pasta will go in. Please comment on what you put into your meals. You know, we want to know a little bit of everything here, and also we wanted to get an idea of what the consumer and the subscriber does. So please click, if you haven't done so already, click the subscribe button, and then you know, the notification bell, because you don't want to miss a thing. And here, right here is this is part one of my cooking, which is our little bit of everything cooking pasta, and we're going to use ziti, excuse me, rigati, which is basically like the thicker pasta. Between you and I, it lasts a little bit longer because it's a little bit thicker. The thinner ones, they like to put more in the box, but it's not as filling, and it doesn't, you know, last as long, in my opinion. Sometimes, like, we used to shop at BJ's because, you know, it lasts longer too. But for this part, you know, we were at Stop and Shop yesterday, or the other day rather, so we decided to go with this one. And it's, you know, it's Stop and Shop brand's not bad. It's a good brand, but Del Monte, I used to use another brand, but this one I wanted to try just because it had no salt. But please give us a comment and let us know what you put in your pasta and what you cook with, and also give us a comment and help us know, do you like our channel? Is there anything? So two things: would you please comment on what you put in your pasta, and then please let us know, do you like our channel? Like, what can we add or, you know, do more of on our channel? So we're gonna put on right now, this is part one. Please stay tuned to our cooking channel, and please, folks at home, our friends at home, we want to know your name. Please also comment on that and tell us what's your name. But also, if you get a chance to see my wife, I'm going to say this while she's in the other room resting, she's having a good night tonight. You know, we're about to look at this, but I want you to please look at her video from last night. It was incredible. It's a worship song. Please check it out and comment on it. It was awesome. I was just moved in in many ways. So I had to say that because she's just a wonderful person and evangelist. So thank you for doing so. And right now I'm going to turn on pot number. This is the burner number. I never really know which one is which. That's the back one. That says the front, just in case. So when I don't know how. For those at home, I'm learning this myself right now. This actually says the front, and this says the back. Well, there you go. You see, you learn a little bit of everything every day. So right now that's part one. So if you stay tuned for video number 2 of our pasta cooking, we're going to put the pasta in, and we're going to talk more a little bit about Italian. You know, it's great because we have a video coming up, if you stay tuned as well. We're going to do something about being an interracial couple, and the you know, the ins and the outs, and just the blessings of having that in life, and also, you know, just that in general and more. So please stay tuned. We thank you, and you know, just tune in again for next time, and please comment on those 2 things. And for right now, thanks for tuning in. You don't want to miss a thing. Okay, now it looks like the water has boiled really well, so that's good. And now here we go with our Italian cooking here, more and more of it. Forget about it, huh? Right here we have the pasta with the ziti, and what I'm gonna do is, as soon as I put the pasta in the sauce, excuse me, the pasta in the, I was thinking about the sauce. Step 2 is the sauce. Put the pasta in the bowl, and watch it just you know, some people like to pour it away. Just be careful when you do that, because you know, that's just gonna remain sanctified. That's just, you know, the pasta goes there. I'm gonna open up the can of, oh geez, how do I do this with one hand? Let's see if I could do this with one hand. The Del Monte doesn't have to literally be. Also, if you see in the background there, that's my wife's palm olive. And I was speaking about, oh, I didn't plug it in. Check. There we go. I'm opening the can of Del Monte. I always had trouble doing this. I hope you could see okay. Let me try to back that up. I always had trouble doing this because the actual can opener, not the actual can opener, but the person using the can opener never really can ever catch it. You know, if you just comment below, tell me how many times does it take you to catch a can on the can opener. I don't know. It always has to be like, man, alright, anyway, we'll leave the Del Monte can for right now. I was talking about my wife's palm olive, and I was talking earlier, trying to get this better in the shot so you could see that. And we're going to strive to put the bread right above. I'm trying to get a shot. Alright, that's not going to work. So, one-handed cam here versus, I think, alright, that is definitely not going to work that way. And let's see if this works that way. Okay, well that works again for the palm olive story. So I find that, like, you know, when you go through, I'm gonna put this over here. We're gonna work on the Del Monte later. That'll be video number 3. Basically what I'm gonna do now is, that was raw and uncut and unedited. If you see, these are all the silverware that we got for our wedding. It's so great that when you go to a wedding, you can actually use some of the things. Okay, so if you would just comment below on what exactly you got for your wedding, or what you plan on giving somebody for their wedding. And what I do is I like to rotate 3 to 4 to 5 times over, and then go the other way, just because I can. And now that stirs up everything in the pot. And technically with the Del Monte, I don't actually use it until the very end. Normally I don't even heat the thing up. I was just doing it for the purpose of the video, because honestly I like to keep it separate in the fridge and then heat it later, so maybe we'll avoid that for continuity purposes later. So this is part 2 to our cooking. Now what we're gonna do is, if you look at the time, it's about 6:03. Most people don't pay attention to time. Sometimes I realized as an Italian man, I used to cook certain things certain ways, like pasta. Actually, really, maybe it's just the way that I used to cook it, but I found that from my wonderful, loving wife that the more you cook it, the more bigger it gets, the longer it lasts, and better taste. You know, they say that behind every good man is an even better woman, and the rest of it is rolling her eyes, and I hope that that won't be true always for me, but you know, it's still true about behind every good man is even better woman. So thank God for my honey bear. And that's the cooking channel, cooking video for right now on our YouTube channel. A little bit of everything, and I'm gonna lower I like to lower it just a little bit to like the medium-ish level. Excuse me, move that over for, and then all things work together. So that's that. That's the Del Monte pot. We may not even use that because, you know, the pot, the actual sauce I don't normally heat up. But thank you for viewing part 2, and we're going to look for part 3. Stay tuned, and please comment, what did you get for your wedding, and what would you give someone for their wedding? Thank you. Have a good one. Take care, guys. All right, so we are back in progress of part, you know, editing, or hi guys. The reason why I'm stuttering a little bit is because it took me a little bit of time to get the Del Monte can. I don't know if anybody else in the world had trouble with cans growing up, but for some reason, there you go. I just gotta wash my hands now. Del Monte, you know, is a good brand, and this is a great can over here. Once again, a part of our, excuse me, Leslie. You know, and once again, part of the wedding gifts. But for some reason, I never could ever learn how to. I don't even know why, really, to be honest. And I'm kind of embarrassed about this, but since we're all family now, YouTube viewers, and you know, we all have a like for each other. When I say like, I mean, you know, we don't know each other like that, but you know, you may not like me particularly, or maybe you do, I don't know. Maybe you don't even know me, but like, you know, as people of God, we like to always like and love people who need help and aren't just even friends, you know. It says love your neighbors as yourself. So, you know, but, you know, so I just feel embarrassed a little bit because I really never could open up a can in a can opener. And, you know, I told, you know, what I always loved about my wife too is that she's never judgmental about anything. And I told her this. And one time she actually told me how to do this. Even like, that's how like great of a wife I have, because she didn't make fun of me, she didn't laugh, she said this is how you do it. And if you notice that every can opener in the entire world, we're gonna stir the pasta up because it's been a couple, we'll say, let's see, last video was I'm sorry, the last video was at 6:03. I've been struggling with this thing for like a little while now, a little bit of time. So so we got some, now that looks really good. And the one thing I like about Del Monte and these non-salt videos is non-salt videography, is that it teaches us about, you know, not having salt too much. I say a little bit in moderation is good, because, you know, but these cans that say no salt added, that's a great thing, but they always add just a little bit. I found also too, guys, that when you go to a YouTube channel and you start to promote it or whatever, I don't like that word promote, but you know, like tell about it, talk about it, whatever the proper term is, there is always a way to find into conversation now when I speak a little bit of something. And it's like totally unintentional when I do it too. I'm like, oh, this is a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I never noticed it. In fact, today I was watching the Weather Channel, or Channel 1 News on Verizon. We have Channel 1, and the weatherman was like, you know, it's going to be a little bit of sunshine today and a little bit of heat. And I said, geez, did he check out our channel? You know, but that's just casual conversation. But looking at this can opener, you know, it's just one of those things that I always wanted to conquer, and like I appreciated my wife teaching me, and it's actually sad, but like this would have taken a lot longer had she had never taught me. And like once in a while I'll get it automatically, but since I had the camera in my hand, things, you know, didn't want to work out that way. But that's all right, that's what the process of turning off the camera is all about. But to laugh a little bit with you, you know, it's 6:12 now, and we finally got the sauce on the pot, and you know, no salt. my best advice is, if you do like a little bit of something, or like you find it's not flavorful, it's actually very flavorful. I added just a little bit of half a can of water into the excuse me, into the sauce pot, because I don't find that like it has to be so thick, because you know, when you have your tomatoes in there, it's very thick over the pasta, which I'm not complaining, God is good. Even, you know, like homeless people, this is nice to have for like when you cook for them too, because that tomatoes don't go bad, you know. Like us now, please, and tell a friend to tell another friend, but also give a comment of a story if you ever met a homeless person and were able to like help them out, because you know, we support people who support the needy and the poor, as well as, you know, just lend a helping hand, because that's, you know, I look often, and I'm not trying to make this a long conversation with us, but I think about like every time we go shopping and how blessed God makes us, because you know, there's a lot of people out there that have nothing in this world. And I'm just so blessed to have even this food on this pot. But you know, part of cooking is also remembering how good it is for somebody else when, you know, when you share it with them as well. And tonight, you know, sometimes like we share our food, but with others, but like, you know, it's just a blessing to have something. He said, you know, God said He'd supply our every need according to His riches and power. So that's a wonderful thing to see every day. He won't leave you, you know, without nor forsake you. So that's huge. And we're right now, I don't really turn this on until the very end. In fact, like when I drain the pasta, I think I'm going to turn the pasta sauce on, because once again, I like to keep it separate in the fridge. Also, a little cooking tip that I have, this is my personal thing, I don't know if they actually proved this, but working in many restaurants over the years, I found that when you put the pasta inside and then you put it in the refrigerator or freezer immediately, it takes up a lot of bacteria in it. So it basically makes the food spoil, and it gets like, sometimes can get you sicker if it's like easily spoilable food, such as like, you know, meats and other goods. Like when you cook sausage into the pasta, sometimes we do that here, or meatballs, whatever it is. You don't want to put it right away into a cold environment, because bacteria forms quickly. If it's a cross temperature, it's like almost like cross contamination in a way, similar to it, but very, very, very truthfully. Now we see one pasta just jump up because they're trying to shout out of the water, I guess. I'm not sure what that was about, but that's nice. We're almost done. So I'm gonna push, you know, come back for a video. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, and you know, it'll all be one together thing after a while, but it's nice to have this time just to cook with everyone, just to say thank you for tuning in. Please comment on our homeless section right here. Just wondering, have you ever done something or known somebody who done something courageous for a homeless person? And we thank you for doing that, or knowing somebody that has, you know, and we tip our hats off to you there. Today I was at the grocery store, and you know, they were doing a food drive. I didn't catch their names, but it's nice to see people with the cause out there for the cause. So, all right, hope you enjoy, and I'll be back in a few moments, and thank you guys. Okay, so we left off, the last thing I just had the pasta boil itself. So now, what I was taught over the years about cooking was that, you know, my honey bear, once again, you know, my wife, she taught me a lot about life in general, how to be a man and how to be a man of God, and pretty much everything in between that she taught me about life. But I noticed that like the one thing important about cooking too is we call it in our family clean as you go. It's like, you know, basically like if you do something, like even this I should have took out and put away. It's like you don't want to leave a mess cleaning the kitchen. Like when we did Thanksgiving dinner here, and years that we've seen it at others' houses, or my mother-in-law's house, bless your mom, and you know, everybody there. But also like just having it at our house. This is where the Tabasco sauce is, so you know where that. If you checked out, please check out the Takis challenge and flaming hot thing that we had the other day. That's that. And please comment on how you felt about that one. We want to also know how you're feeling at home. But so clean as you go is such a good concept, because I'm taking the rag here, because if you see, you just wipe the counter and like clean up. Like if you have like cooking turkey, or you're using flour, sorry, I don't want to make you dizzy running around here, but so this is where like I'm gonna turn on the Del Monte right here, because you know, it's about that time for the pasta to be done. Now we don't pay attention. Oops, sorry, I got it. All right, yes. Thank God. All right, so it's 6:21, and I personally feel like it's almost done, but like we don't notice time cooking wise, but you know, it's pretty fat and there's nothing stuck to the bottom that's important. So right now, but we don't go by like time, because really this is a minute on the box, but you know, in our world a minute could mean your interpretation of a minute. Really, we say like, hey, I'll be there in a minute means like, you know, give me a minute, like, you know, 20 30 minutes. But you know, so that's some sizzling. So I'm going to lower that Del Monte up. Del Monte, you know, is our, you know, that's a no salt stuff. So why I like to boil it now, which was a good idea anyway. Right down here is our strainer. Once again, all from our wedding. It was very nice. People definitely blessed us, you know. But what is your favorite sauce? I usually use Ragu, but this time we wanted to try a little bit differently with the no salt content, because Ragu has like a lot of different sauces on it. So it's good to see that, you know, and try no salt, because you know, it's one thing to have it in variation, but I actually eat pasta every day, and that's just the Italian in me, and you know, it's just what's on the shopping list, you know. But so this was a good thing to have, you know. If you know anybody with like salt intake problems, like high blood pressure, please, we have some helpful tips for you as well. You know, boil your food down with no salt. This has a little bit of salt, so we're gonna say that like if you boil it to a certain point, all of the salt will at least come out to minimum. So I'm gonna shut the pasta off, and that's still cooking a little bit. So, but then, you know, boiling down your food is like the concept of what you do with your vegetables. That's a blessing. And you know what? I never finished about the palm olive story. I abandoned that story because it was not the time or the season. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to move Mr. Microwave forward here, and he's going to be my camera stand for right now, because I did not. Okay, let's see if that's in shot there. That should be good right about there. Okay, hey, so that's, ooh, so I'm trying not to show the camera me too much. This was supposed to be a voiceover, so sorry as you see my back. But I'm gonna be doing this, and what I'm gonna do is grab the camera now, coming to you. Stay with me, everybody. All right, great. See, now I just wanted to, sorry about the appearance suddenly. I apologize. Some things I like to do on voiceover too, you know, just because some things, you know. Alright, I should have did this with my left hand. Alright. I'm gonna grab the pot holders. I'm not sure where we got these from. These are really, really nice. Definitely not mine. They're my honey bears. But they're very cute. And it says welcome. And yes, you are all welcome in here. Now, here's the thing that I like to do about my particular, great, nothing stuck to the pot. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. That's my favorite. You know, like, I love when there's nothing stuck to the pot. That means that it was just about perfectly cooked. Now what I do is I put the water on the pasta. Now my wife always had this thing, you know, like, you know, there's always things that couples have that, like, you know, when you're old and gray, you'll remember those things. And like, my wife always knows when I'm cooking food. In fact, she may actually come out and say, you must be cooking pasta because you are smelling up this whole house. And I'm happy to say that that's a good smelling up of the house. So right now though, what I'm gonna do is that Del Monte is just about perfectly done. So what we're gonna do is turn that off. What I'd like to do though is clean as I go. And thank you for coming to our cooking today. I hope you enjoyed some of it. Please comment on how good this looks. Does this look good? I don't know how you want me to refer to myself on the channel, but like, you know, I'll call myself Paul. Obviously, that's my name, but you know, there's so many other names that you can call me by. But Paul that's me. So, but I like to be called Trina's husband because that's what, you know. So this is Trina's husband scooping. First, you know what? What am I doing, Paul? This is now not. Oh, I lied to y'all. Look at that. Look at this. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. There is a piece of pasta right there. No, you didn't. You sneaky piece of pasta. All right, and there is one little one. So let me show you this now. This is why it's important to put water on the pasta, because there's always that one little piece that gets in there. But you know what? I'm gonna put this back on the stove, which is kind of hot, even though, you know, it's all right. We're good. That's gonna be washed first. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make my plate. This is once again from the pizzeria up and down the street. I'm learning how to like use the camera here with one hand. So I hope process is alright. If you like the way, sorry, hand away from me ripping this off with my bare hands. They're washed. You know, I don't know how you personally feel. Can you comment on how does this look to eat? And also, how do you feel about like washing up before dinner? You know, like some people say that like when you come in off, I'm gonna make my plate again. This is my actual dinner tonight, everyone. The only thing I have to do, unfortunately, is make like, you know, the meatballs in the oven. You know what I can do here? You know what? That's a good idea. I'm gonna stop for one moment and I'm gonna reheat the Del Monte. Try not to serve the stove too much. This is a little bit of everything's refrigerator. Nope, that's all. I don't want to like, you know, brag about what I have, because I wouldn't really brag. I'm just grateful, you know. So this is the pasta that we purchased also from Stop and Shop, the meatballs rather, 1, 2, 3. You know, I feel like to stretch it for the week, you know, certain men have certain amounts. They don't really say how much, like, oh, I had 5 meatballs last night. You know what, that's good enough, because it's really filling. The Italian style ones, these are Stop and Shop ones. So if you like the comment, now, you know, I'm just striving to fill my plate here and reheat this here. And then right now, let's see if I can just, okay, so is this good cinematography? Because I did not look in the camera right there. Can you, all right, I have another comment. We want to get more comments from everyone because we like to hear from everyone. We find you as friends and, you know, and just more than just followers. We want to know you, so, but we do have some people who have commented and we've seen the comments and thank you for it. Thank you for those supporting my wife. You know, she's on a mission. She's on a mission to do the works down here, as well as, you know, get her testimony and her story told, as well as help others, you know. It's beautiful. Doing God's work is so nice. And, oh, I also had some, but anyway, we wanted to say thank you for your support. We appreciate it. And also, folks at home, I'm going to be cooking my meatballs. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier when I was saying that, you know, basically to, you know, put the meatballs in. This is good to boil down the meatballs anyway, so this all works together as well. Now the water itself has been a little juicy, that's why I use this kind of strainer. Let me get this in the sink here so you can see it, because that drains out the little bit of water left. And you know, it's nice. So what I'm going to do is clean as I go here and just kind of clean this up here. Now that's, once again, you know, right-handed, so that's good. I'm a righty. Okay, so the rest of this, what did I do? Oh, I did that, right? I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I was looking for the pasta, and I said, oh, you know, that's how much fun you can have at cooking. So the last and final step is to say thank you again, and please comment on how you feel about our channel, and also, you know, how this looks to eat. And also, please, you know, we thank you for the support. Already, we're very growing quickly. You know, I'm going to bring the plate over here and put it on the hot stove right here. I'm going to wash that glass because, you know, we don't want to waste time for the audience. And please comment and tell us, you know, what we can add or lessen in the channel. So what would you like to see from now on? Folks at home, we thank you. Geez, I just dropped a lot. Sorry about that. I'm going to move this pot just a little bit closer. Okay, I can move the plate. There we go. Okay, there we go. That's starting to look like a meal, a healthy meal, mind you. So I'm going to put this right here, and I'm going to find out, you know, do you like this? Please comment below. And also, please check out all of our other videos and comment on them. We want to know you at home. We want to know you, what you're thinking of our channel, but also we want to know how can we help the community of YouTube as well. This is it, and I'm so honored to have such an amazing evangelist of a wife, you know, I mean, or evangelist's wife, because she's like, just like inspiring in a whole. Like every day I sit here or stand here, whatever. I really don't sit much because, you know, men shouldn't sit, but I stand here every day and I look at her and I think what an awe-inspiring person of God she is, but also just a person in general. Please check out her salad mukbang and see how wonderful, like the first video was, to get to know her So that's my plate. I gotta stir it up a little bit. And the last thing, you know, I'm not gonna, that's my Giants mug, thank you. And that's it. So I don't really use a knife. And that's the end of our video. I hope that, you know, the smell continues to be here for years, and that, you know, you could smell it at home. But if you like the taste of this or look of it, please comment below, and thank you for tuning in. Have a blessed night.